Hi folks, Barry Lohman from Motorama Live and Team Hall Nass, here with my good friend Kelly Wysocki from GMC. And Kelly, as some of you may know if you've watched our previous videos, Kelly loves to ride in the vehicle with us, which that says a lot about Kelly, right, in my opinion, because as you all know, most people in the passenger seat are grimacing or making all kinds of funny faces as we go along, but Kelly laughs and has a good time with us. So Kelly has something new for us today, and Kelly, I'll let you reveal what we are driving right now.
Sure, we are driving the 2014 GMC Sierra Denali light duty pickup. We are driving it with the best part, the 6.2 liter Ecotec 3 V8 engine.
That's right, 420 horsepower, 460 foot-pounds of torque. Man, this thing is a hot rod. Woo! And ironically, we've got a Chevy in front of us that's holding us up. So, and a little case of the Hamthrax. So, we don't want to get a case of the Hamthrax, especially when we've got Kelly with us in the truck. So we're pulling up to a stop sign now. And you know what, Kelly, now that we're going to stop for a moment, because this is such an exhilarating experience to drive this truck, it's actually kind of hard to talk about it while we're driving because it is so much fun to drive. You find yourself wanting to drive it in performance mode all the time. In fact, you know, one of the first things I said to Kelly when I got in the truck and we started down the road, I said, hey, do we have any buttons in here for sport mode? And she looked at me like I was crazy, and then I think it took a second. She's like, oh yeah, this is Barry. And what was it you said to me?
You can turn the StabiliTrak on and off, but you would like to keep it on.
Yeah, there you go. So Kelly's like, well, we don't have a sport mode, but hey, you can turn off all the safety stuff if you'd like. Is that sporty enough for you? And yes, it is, by the way. I got to tell you something. First impression, we've spent, you know, a few hours so far out driving these things. Now we're going to get a chance today to do a little hauling, a little towing. They've got a big Airstream trailer for us. They've got a boat, and of course your counterpart and somewhat competitor, but in a nice way, it's co-opetition. Yes, Chevy is here with their new 6.2 liter high country edition of the Silverado. And my guess, Kelly, and I know you're not one to talk out of school, but you know, you guys have been killing it at GMC with the Denali. Oh,
Denali's been huge for us. We introduced it in 1999 on the Yukon Denali, and so far we've rolled it out to the Sierra, the Acadia, and the Terrain, and we've sold over 625,000 units of just the Denali derivative. So it's a brand all in itself.
Wow. And a lot of people just say Denali. They don't necessarily say, well, it's a Yukon Denali, it's a Sierra Denali, it's an Acadia Denali, it's a, you know, Terrain Denali. They say Denali because Denali itself, it's almost like they won't even say GMC. They just, oh, I drive a Denali. It's like, I drive a Mercedes. I drive a BMW. I drive a Denali. And you guys have got to be proud of that.
That's right.
Because it wasn't all that long ago that, and maybe it's a bit unfortunate, we all have a history, including myself. And sometimes in our history, you know, folks used to look at GMC as the extra parts brand. Because, and it's true, I mean, there for a number of years, you buy, you know, a GMC pickup truck and it might have a Buick motor in it, and it might have the turn signal stock out of a Pontiac, and those were some dark times for us all. However, nowadays, GMC really does mean, at least to your all's way of thinking,
professional grade. Yeah,
professional grade. So that not to pick on Chevy in the co-opetition, but with the Denali at GMC, you guys feel like you got just a little higher line, a little better product, going after that younger buyer that's a little more image conscious.
That's right.
And so you guys have kind of forced Chevy to come out with the high country to kind of respond to the success that the Denali has seen, I would imagine. Yeah. And I love it. See, she's a good employee. She doesn't want to talk out of school because it is a friendly co-opetition. But I will say this. We can talk about, and you never want to mention your competitors, of course, but I'll tell you something. I think the success of the Denali has led some of the other truck makers out there to come out with a premium package of their own and really promote it.
We were pretty much out there first with the Yukon.
Now, what was the first year for Denali again?
First year for Denali was 1999 on the Yukon. And Sierra followed in 2001.
Okay.
That was the first year of the Sierra Denali. Before that, we called it the C3, but first year for Denali was 2001.
All right. So, you know, there's some amazing things in this truck, and we'll have to do a little pan and scan and bring you some of the footage. But one of the coolest things that jumps out at you once you get beyond that roar, that 6.2, every time we get in the throttle, and we'll bring you some more of that, of course, the instrument cluster. This instrument cluster kicks ass. It really does. We've got different side panels you can pull out, access different features within the vehicle. You got your trip A, your trip B, your oil life, got your tire pressures, MPGs, speedo, digital speedo. So it's just it's a nice range of options along the way. And it's a gauge cluster with the information that you want at your fingertips, that you need when you go, when you tow, when you haul, or even if you're just driving the truck recreationally off-road or on-road. Normally in a pickup truck, you know, there's a certain level of information that you want to know, because a pickup truck, remember, is not just an automobile or a vehicle, it's a tool. And like any tool, you want to select the right tool for the job. So when you do something, you know, when you've got a truck and you do a lot of towing, you do a lot of hauling, you work it, you use it as a tool as part of your professional life, that's the professional grade. You need certain information in the dash. You need to keep track of things, you know, like your water temperature, your transmission temperature, your oil temperature, things like that when you're hauling and going down the road. And I gotta tell you, we've got so many different options in this gauge cluster of different things we can pull up. But the mode that we've got it in right now, you know, I've got oil temp, I've got water temp, I've got my fuel gauge, I've got my battery gauge here, of course the alternator and the volts returning. Of course, we've got the standard tachometer over on the left, the speedo on the right. The speedo, speaking of the speedo reads 140. Now, I got Kelly in the truck with me. And I've had Kelly in the truck with me since we left the hotel this morning, which I like having Kelly along, but I don't know that we'll be unsupervised with this at any time. So I'll just go ahead, in all fairness, and ask the question that a lot of our viewers out there would like to know, and you know I want to know. Is there a limiter on this truck, or will it run out to the potential of the horsepower versus aerodynamics?
There is a limiter.
Okay, but I'm still optimistic here. So the speedo reads 140. What's the limiter at this truck set at? Do you know?
I don't know, but I have an idea.
Okay, I like ideas.
I believe it's 98 miles an hour.
Oh no! No, say it isn't so!
But I don't know. Maybe you will find out later when you go by yourself. I have not driven it.
Oh, well, maybe I will, you know.
Maybe you can find out.
Maybe we'll find out. Well, you know, we do have a legal speed limit of 85 miles an hour here in Texas. We are in the hill country, and that road with the 85 mile an hour legal speed limit is not all that far from where we are right now. So we could, within a reasonable amount of, you know, extending the boundaries of what's legal, potentially find this out. We'll see if we get an opportunity to do that today or not. If we do, we'll bring it to you. If we don't, maybe we'll be lucky enough to have that opportunity sometime in the future. But like all things, and Kelly, stick your fingers in your ears, like all things in the modern day of technology, you know, it's real easy to go in there and you know, flash that out. So la, exactly. But you know what, it's this truck so far, whatever the limiter's set at, I'm telling you right now, it'll get 0 to whatever that limit is quicker than any other half-ton pickup truck on the market, because oh man, that 6.2 sounds good. And one of the things, of course, everybody knows I'm a Corvette guy. I love Corvettes, and I still love my C6, no matter what anybody says about anything C7-ish, but well, that's for another thing for another time. This power plant, this 6.2 and this Denali we're driving, this 2014, this is basically the heart of the same power plant in the new Corvette.
That's correct.
Yes. So, and we talked to the engineer last night, a lovely young lady who's been an engineer with General Motors for a number of years working on engine programs, and she shared with us that there are just some subtle differences between the 6.2 that's available in this Denali, and actually the LT1 flavor of the 6.2 that's available in the new C7 Corvette. So for those of you out there in the modding and tuning community, which is a number of us, it'll be a pretty easy swap to take this motor and step it up to Corvette levels of performance or even better. So, but back to what we're dealing with from the factory under warranty. If you're the person who just wants to buy it and drive it and leave it alone, then kudos to you. This truck actually performs well enough that, at least based off of my first drive here, my gut feel, if you don't want to tap into additional performance in this motor and you are happy with the stock performance, you'll be able to live with the stock performance, because it has got to get up and go to tear the tires off of this thing, doesn't it?
It does.
Absolutely. So, we talked a little bit about the gauge cluster. We've talked about the new motor, but there's some new safety innovations in the 2014 Sierra and the Sierra Denali. So, Kelly, you want to tell us a little bit about some of the new safety features in this pickup truck?
Sure. We have forward collision alert, which the button is on the steering wheel.
Okay.
What it does is there's a camera behind the rear view mirror, and it monitors how close you are to a vehicle. And you can set the distance, and it will alert you if you're coming up too quickly on a vehicle and avoid an incident there. There's also lane departure warning, which is the switch is one of these toggle switches down here.
Oh yeah.
And again, the camera will read the white lines, and
so we'll just cross the white line here. We go, oh yeah, we got a little. You know what? If I go across the line this way, will it jolt you, or is it just for the driver?
Just on that side of your seat.
Oh, okay.
So it has
it'd be it'd be a great option. I know you guys are still taking notes, because we're not to full production yet. It'd be kind of cool if we could turn this on for the passenger as well. So you could, if the passenger's nodding off, you could just go over there on that white line and give them a little jolt. Because I got to tell you something, we'll cross the white line again. Woo, yeah. I'll tell you
we do have an active active alert seat, so it will vibrate on either side of the lane that you are crossing and alert you to get back in your lane. So those are new to the Sierra this year.
And it's a system, I believe, that GM first started with the Cadillac.
With the seat, yes.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a familiar feel. It kind of feels like it just like I will quote Jennifer on this. She said, "It bit me." She's like, "It bit me," and he said, "Oh, it bit me again." Ah! And I was like, "Stay in your lane." She's like, "I don't need guff from the seat, and you too." So, but it's all about safety in this modern age. And we've come a long way. I mean, how many pickup trucks I've had that just had a big old vinyl bench seat in them? Safety in that was having the seat belt tight enough so when you went around the corner, you didn't slide to the passenger seat and have to reach over for the steering wheel. So we've come a long way.
We have.
Now, speaking of seats, the seats in this truck are actually very, very comfortable. And they finally, thank the Lord, General Motors has finally discovered that, yes, in fact, you can put air-conditioned seats, not just heated seats, in the new pickup trucks.
So here in Texas, we are using the cooled seat feature right now.
Oh yes, it's very nice. It's calming. It's soothing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It makes for a pleasant experience. Absolutely. So what other new tech is in this 2014 Sierra Denali that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, we have lots of USB ports. We have 5 USBs.
5 USB ports?
Between the front and into the console, the large console.
Oh, wow.
We have a 110 volt outlet in the front.
It bit me again. I got to turn off this lane thing. Yes, I like to drive the road based on the feel of the road and make your proper apex. I don't worry so much about the lines of the road unless there's somebody beside of us.
Right, and you can turn that feature on and off.
And we have.
Yes. We have a 110 volt outlet so you can charge your laptop. We have plenty of ports to charge your cell phones. Barry touched on the reconfigurable cluster, which is an 8-inch screen. It's unique to the Denali. It is not offered on the Chevrolet.
I love it when you say that. Reconfigurable cluster. It sounds like the story of my life, because it really is a reconfigurable cluster. Emphasis on the cluster.
And there are 3 themes that you can pick. Barry has it on the gauges now.
I've got her so tongue-tied she doesn't even remember my name at this point. Oh, this is great. And we're not even hooning right now. Although, ironically, the whole time we're driving this GMC, everybody that gets in our way is in a Chevy. I don't know. Is that just like weird twist of fate, or what is it?
I guess. Also, we have premium materials. So we have the real aluminum trim, wood, and we have some softer leather seats. That's unique to the Denali.
Now,
we have
when you
Denali
say,
on the
I don't mean to
headrest.
interrupt, but I'm good at it. So when you say wood, what are we talking about in here?
It's poplar wood.
Ooh, really?
Wood accents.
Right here in the, where else have we got wood? We got wood in the door. We've got
There's
wood.
not much. There's mostly aluminum.
Okay, in the console, in the door, and then we've got aluminum up here. And I know I'm doing all this, you guys can't see it, so we'll bring you some images of this as well. What else we got in here? I mean, we've got a nice headliner. You've got a soft, kind of tactile material on the dash and the door panels here. We got nice stitching on the dash and on the seats.
Right. We got like a live stitch, so the stitch makes it nice. We have a rear entertainment back here.
Rear entertainment?
For the kids.
What kind of rear entertainment do we have?
We have the screen here.
Okay.
For the kids to watch entertainment movies.
Okay. Yeah. Is it DVD or is it Blu-ray?
It is DVD.
Or
DVD.
DVD. Okay. Do we have auxiliary inputs for that where they can plug in their own devices?
Yes, we do. Down here on the console on the bottom, we do.
Okay. Are there any kind of volume controls or headphone jacks or anything like that as part of the rear
There is
infotainment, entertainment system?
There is a USB. There's another auxiliary charge. You can use it to plug in your game system, as you said.
Okay.
And headphones.
Okay. Now, in the second row of seats in the pickup truck, and it's funny to say second row of seats in the pickup truck, but that's exactly what we've got back here. It's not just an old bench in the back seat anymore. We've got actual comfortable seats, and I've ridden in the back of this pickup once today, and I don't do that very often, but I did just kind of check it out. They're actually, you got some leg room back there, regardless of, you can, I'm a big old boy, I take up a lot of room when I sit in front of the pickup, but even with that, we could put another big old boy right behind me and still have enough room for, you know, leg room and head room and the whole bit right behind us. Now, there are a few things I would like to ask. In the rear seats, do we have any kind of, because we got all kinds of fancy stuff for front seats. We've got 3 positions of cooling, we got 3 positions of heating, we've got up high and down low, you know, and these are what, 12-way?
12-way adjustable seats.
Okay, both sides, or driver 12-way?
Driver.
Driver 12-way, and then the passenger has
I'm not sure.
some other ways. You know, hit the knob there and see how many different ways you can go.
Yeah, might be. There's quite a few knobs over here. Might
There
be
you go.
12 ways. That's a good question.
Well,
Stump me.
you know, we'll have to dig into that and find out. So, are there any options in the rear seats? For example, do the rear seats have a heating or cooling option?
Not in the rear seats. They are at an incline, so they are more comfortable.
Oh, so you can recline them a little bit.
Well, they're at an angle. They're not straight up.
Oh, okay.
So they're angled at a more comfortable angle. We did add 2 inches more of leg room in the second row. We did move this pillar forward, the B pillar forward slightly.
Yeah, I've noticed that. My peripheral vision here. Of course, I sit back pretty far because, again, big old boy. Brings us to something else interesting in the 2014 Sierra Denali. The tilt telescope feature on the steering wheel is no longer one lever that just kind of does it all, so it's up and down and in and out. You actually, on the fly, in a way, it takes a little getting used to, but in a way this is better. You've got one lever to adjust the tilt feature on the steering wheel. You've got a separate lever to do telescopic. So you can adjust one or the other as you're going down the road without having the old, once you loosen it, wheel go up, down, in and out, which is kind of tough to do on the fly. So that's yet another kind of a safety feature, if you will.
It's more comfortable for the driver. You can adjust your seat as much as you'd like, and also your steering wheel. So it's all about comfort.
Absolutely. Now let's touch on something that we really haven't even addressed so far on this drive today, and that is the infotainment system in the dash. What do we have in the dash for 2014?
We have an 8-inch color touch screen.
Okay.
We have Bluetooth integrated to your audio. We have navigation. You can reconfigure the icons to where you'd like for your home screen. You just press and hold that to move these around.
Oh, really? You can move them around like you do on your phone?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, nice.
We have weather. You can listen to Pandora.
Now, which system is this? Is this the MyLink or is this...
This is the IntelliLink system.
IntelliLink. So what is the IntelliLink?
IntelliLink is a voice commands.
Okay.
So if you are in your audio system, for instance, and you press your speak button, and you say tune to XM.
A device is initializing. Content on that device is not accessible by speech commands until initialization is complete.
This is our first
Say
time
a command
accessing
or
it.
say help.
Say tune to.
Tune to Radio Margaritaville.
We're going to say XM.
Exit.
Tune to Radio Margaritaville XM. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tuning.
There you go.
And you know what? It understood my redneck hillbilly voice.
It uses natural voice recognition.
That's amazing. Because when these systems first came out, no one in the South could use them. I'm serious. But you know what? Folks are like, I assume like folks from Massachusetts probably had a hell of a time using them as well. You know, anywhere where the accent is very regional and very, very pronounced. But I'd say the folks in Kansas just have had a great time with these, you know, from the first iteration, that classic mid-American voice that seems to work very well with these. So that's impressive that it actually understood, you know,
Yes.
what I said on the fly.
And you can also do it with your phone contacts.
Okay.
And easily call through that feature.
Nice. And of course it's got Bluetooth, you know, to hook a Bluetooth phone. Now how many different Bluetooth devices can we sync with this IntelliLink system?
At one time, you can only have one connected, but you
Okay.
can have multiple devices and it'll pick up. You can have programmed, but it'll only use one at a time,
Okay, one at a time.
I believe.
Okay. I think everybody else's is just one at a time too. So it'll be interesting when we reach the day where everybody's phones in the vehicle can be mated up with it, and then whoever's phone rings, you got the option to let it pick up and go through the system or not. So, you know, but we always have to have those things that a new vehicle doesn't have, so we have things to look forward to in
Correct.
the next iteration.
Yes.
That's where the innovation comes from. But you know what? This 2014 is leaps and bounds over the 2013. I mean, it really, not to knock the 2013 because it was a nice truck, but this is the real deal. And I really think, and I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It happens. But I really, truly believe that this is not only going to, that a lot of your current and existing customers will be happy to upgrade to this vehicle, but I think you're going to see some conquest sales with this. I think you're going to see some folks that have either never owned a GMC vehicle before, but I also think you're going to get back some of those folks that may have strayed to other brands over the past handful of years.
We hope so.
So, but I would say at this point, we should probably do the classic enough yakking and back to the driving. So let's just show you a little 0 to 60 performance here. 50, 60, and it just feels too good to get out of it. And oh man, I tell you what, Kelly, this truck is a real treat to drive. And as always, thank you for putting up with our foolishness. Thank you for coming on to our rolling one-man craziness show here that we've got out here on the road. And as a parting thought, what would you like to leave in the minds of all of these people out here, all two, myself and my mom will watch my video for sure for males. And if you watch it, hey, there'll be 3. So, and then hopefully some of you are watching this right now, and hopefully you'll tell your friends about it. So for those folks, those handful of folks that are going to watch this video, what would you like to leave them with in the back of their mind as a final thought, an encompassing thought of the 2014 Sierra Denali?
Well, I hope this will be available in the first quarter, or actually fourth quarter of this year in dealers. Hope you can check it out when it comes to a dealer near you. This is the most powerful light-duty pickup, 420 horsepower, 460 feet of torque. As Barry can attest to. A lot of premium amenities and features in the new Sierra Denali.
Smiles for miles! Oh, go baby, go! So as a parting thought, on top of the parting thought, what's the last word on the 2014 GMC Sierra Denali?
Hope you check it out.
There you go, check it out. And you know what? I've spent a couple hours behind the wheel of this thing. Obviously, I'm having a good time, but in all seriousness, you know what? I gotta say it. If you go down and test drive a new 2014 GMC Sierra, ask for the Denali. Make sure you ask for the 6.2. Now the 5.3 is a nice engine, but for just under $2,000 more, you can jump from that 5.3 with like 355 or so horse into the 6.2 with 420 horse and 460 foot-pounds of torque. And you know, that's what we're all about around here. Having the power to get the job done. Professional grade, professional trucks for professional people. And for folks like me. So, I'd just like to leave you guys with this one thing. If you were driving a 2014 GMC Sierra Denali with 6.2 liter in it and you get past, there's no way you're hauling Nass.